I don't mean to alarm anyone, but there are murderers nearby. When snow falls, generally the limbs prevent the snow from gathering just around the trunk. As a result, there may be a hidden hole. I could probably word that better, but I'm going to continue. There may be a hole hidden just underneath the visible branches. We call that a tree well, and here's why that may be a recipe for disaster. The first problem is people don't realize they're there, and they can be quite deep, well deep enough to bury a full-size adult. Second, when someone falls into a tree well, say from skiing, they often fall beside it and then fall in head first. Falling in head first into a tree well can make it impossible to get out. Third, when you fall into a tree well, it has a tendency to collapse and fill with snow. This suffocates the victim as if they were underwater. Do not try this at home. Okay, so I'm 6'4" and I'm in a tree well. It's not easy to get out of. Yeah, it's a hole. Well, I do believe it's time that we talk some facts and figures. You have a greater than 90% chance of survival if you're rescued within 15 minutes, and you have a approximately 30% chance of survival if you're rescued within 30 minutes. Now, let me clarify something. Those numbers that I just gave you are not survival times from burial in a tree well. Those are survival times from burial due to avalanches. So the numbers are probably not exactly the same, but hopefully it puts us in the right ballpark. We just have no evidence for survival times based on burial in tree wells. Length of survival is largely going to depend on if you have an air pocket around you and how large that air pocket is. If you're upside down in a tree well, should you kick your skis off? It's very difficult to say, but based on what I've read, the answer is probably not, and here's the reasoning. Number one, we don't really know. There's no randomized controlled trials to really study this. But the reasons to keep them on are, number one, they may prevent you from sinking deeper into the hole, and two, the fact that they're on and moving may be something that someone else can see to come rescue you. Getting out is very difficult if you fall in head first, but bending over at the waist as you're falling does seem to make it more likely that you'll be able to climb out yourself. So the moment you realize you're falling into a tree well, bend over at the waist. Skiing with a buddy gives you someone that can rescue you, but it does no good if your buddy is waiting in the lift line, so you have to stay close. If your buddy falls into a tree well, it may be very difficult to get them out. Rather than pulling them out, a better strategy may be to dig down to their heads so that they can breathe, then worry about getting them out. You know, what we could do, Recording? No. Well, yeah, but my foot's stuck.